Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm a caricature and welcome back to my frantic, fancy, and fantastical little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every one of the main stage runway looks of RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World Series 2. And this week, quite frankly, we are just going to jump right into it because we've got 10 girls, 3 looks apiece. That's 30 looks to talk about. That's a lot of looks. That's a lot of things to discuss. So this might be a little bit longer than usual. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. If I think a look is just fine, we'll give it an okay. If I love a look, we give it a slay. And if I don't like it for any reason, we give it a nay. Now, when we do these multi-look episode situations, I do kind of talk about what I would give them in terms of whatever my definitive determination, I guess, of that look is. But I also give one overall for their entire package that episode. So we will be doing that today too, so technically everybody will have 4. So, yippee! This week, the 10 remaining queens had to present 3 looks in the Happy Ending Ball. Lady Prince Charming, where all of the queens had to give sort of a masculine prince look. Then we had She-Evil Queen, obviously an evil queen inspired look. And then they had to create a sort of princess ball gown eleganza moment. First up this week, we have Hanaconda. Her Lady Prince Charming look, I hate. I don't like anything about the outfit itself. I don't like the color palette together. The gold pants with the brown boot and the hot pink shirt and this like light olive green cape with the little crown. It's too much. It's just too many colors. None of them really work together all that well. Just in terms of the textures of the fabrics, like the whole thing, it looks really, really cheap. And the only thing good about this to me was her hair and the little mustache. The little mustache I thought was quite fun, quite camp. But yeah, other than that, this was such a miss for me. Definitely giving this a nay. This little prince can hop up on that horse and ride it on out of here. Her She-Evil Queen look, definitely my favorite look that she presented of the night. I really liked this kind of like slate bluish gray tone that she went with. This is very classic Evil Queen in terms of silhouette with the high collar, the sleeves. The silhouette is right on this. I really like the hair. I like the jewelry. I don't really particularly like the choice of contacts with this. I don't think they were necessary to the look. They don't add anything to it. This is definitely much better than the first one, so I'm gonna give this a slide. And for her Drags to Riches eleganza look, it's the same color palette as her Prince look, which I mean, at least they make sense together, which is cute. I do see that part of it. God, this looks so cheap. Part of it is the fabrics that she had to work with. I think given the amount of time, the silhouette on this is really nice. It does look well constructed. Holy moly, this gold panel in the center of this skirt, it's giving Jiffy Pop, you know? For those who don't know what Jiffy Pop is, it's the little thing of popcorn that you cook on the stovetop and then it inflates. And it's in like a foil bag. Not the greatest of fabric choices on this one. And the mice on the look because they helped her make it. It's a cute story. The story though is the best part of the look. And we're not here to critique the story. We're here to critique the fashions. So this is a miss for me also. I'm gonna give her an A. Overall, I don't think her Evil Queen look was enough to get her entire package out of being a nay for me this week. Up next is John Burst Blonde. For her Lady Prince Charming look, I know her reference was that basically like the prince rated her favorite designers and created a look out of that or whatever it was. It did have some Vivienne Westwood touches, which I did catch. I definitely caught the Vivienne Westwood points of inspiration with this. I actually really liked the tartan print that she picked with this and how that kind of is juxtaposed against the light tules and the frills. There were a little too many details going on for me personally. I didn't like the green fabric that she had in the back of this. And to me, like the hair choice didn't make the most sense. So for me, this is an A. Getting into her Evil Queen look, I think it would have been perfect had she gotten rid of the apple. I don't understand what the apple had anything to do with this particular look aside from the Evil Queen had the apple business, so that's where that comes into play. But it's just there. Like it doesn't make sense with the look. She's in this look that's very fiery, very sculptural, and it's a really cool look. Like I legitimately think it's my favorite thing I've ever seen her wear on Drag Race. The headpiece is cool, cape is cool. This is definitely like a Bunny Bee Fly look, I'm pretty sure. She makes a lot of stuff like this for the girls these days, which we love to see. I think this look alone was good, was very good actually. I just didn't think the apple was necessary. I'm gonna give this a slay. And for her third look, I really hope I'm not the only person out there who thinks this. To me, she's kind of giving Kristen McMenemy a little bit, which I love, because I love Kristen McMenemy. This look, I think it's two separate looks. The orange bows, the orange lining, the skirt part of it, I think is cool. But with the gold, I don't think it made as much sense. I don't like the strap treatment up on the top. I don't think it really works with the tights. Like, it feels like a very simple little cocktail dress that she's just attached a giant skirt to. Like, to me, this is a miss. I'm also gonna give this an A. Had she maybe done the base dress in the orange fabric as well, or had done something to bring the gold a little bit more into the skirt outside of like a few bows, I think it would have been more successful. I don't like this. For a girl who's supposed to be a fashion queen, who's supposed to be pulling the looks, I have yet to see her do that like on a very, very successful level from top to bottom with well-intended choices being made in terms of accessories and all of that. Overall, same thing as Hannah. I don't think that her Evil Queen look was good enough to push her whole package out of being a nay for me. We're off to a great start today, aren't we? And up next is Arancha Castillo-La Mancha. Her Prince Charming look, very much a David Bowie situation. I thought conceptually, a cool idea, you know? The eye patch, it was too big, it was flopping around. The hair looked really shiny. I think she could have done something to maybe de-shine it a little bit because it was just such a stark, plasticky orange color. And then the jumpsuit was fine. Because of the way that the shirt was cropped, you could see her drag undergarments, which like is just kind of like a taste level thing that I don't think she has quite developed quite yet. I will say she looks better than she did on her original season. I don't think she's quite there yet. And this look for me was a miss. I'm gonna give this Prince look a nay. Her Evil Queen look, once again, I think conceptually is a great idea to do this Mean Girls look. Huge, very 2000s, taken to an extreme high school girl idea. And the burn book as a coat, like I think is a cool idea. But this fabric she has for this cape, I don't know what it is, but it just looks like a blanket. Like she looks like a child pretending to be the Evil Queen, using like a giant like fleece blanket as a cape. It just didn't work for me. Again, great idea, but not great execution. I'm gonna give her a nay on this as well. Her Rags to Riches eleganza that she designed, however, while I don't think it fits the theme all that well, I like that she went with this sort of like emo scene girl vibe. I really love the hair and the fascinator veil situation with this look. Her makeup looks great. She performed it really well on the runway, but Michelle brings up the fact that the sleeves are two different lengths for these gloves, so it's a little awkward there. It's just like there's a hem issue. There's not really a lot of shape to it. It's just kind of a gown. There's just some construction problems all throughout this look. Conceptually, great once again, but like all of her other looks this week, it misses the marks on execution for me. As much as I love this hair and I would steal it from her in a hot second, I will say, for me, this look is okay. If the first two couldn't get out of nay territory by having a slay in their lineup, I don't think that an okay is going to do that for Arancha either. For me, her entire package this week is also a nay. Up next is Tia Coffee. Her Prince Charming look was this really cute Robin Hood direction, which I love, that is a concept that she did in her original season that she's since revisited. Way more successful this time. I love that it's in red. It's very Hunger Games. It's just a great proportion, great length on everything. The shoulder plating is really cool. This hits all the marks for me. So for me, this first look, she's starting it off strong with a slay. Her Evil Queen look, oh my god, this had me choked up watching it. Like, the fact she chose for her Evil Queen look to specifically do Cherry Valentine's promo look from her season, oh, it got my heart aflutter. Oh, it was so sweet, and it's done really beautifully. She does a great job of combining her personal aesthetic with cherries in this look. I loved the cape. I loved the little basket of cherries as well. Just, this was so good. So good. Not like a huge departure for the base gown, but that look is so good on its own. I feel like you don't really need to make any changes to it. Plus, with it being a direct tribute to Cherry, I feel like it would be a little disrespectful to make any changes to it in that regard. So good thing it's that good of a look to begin with. This is also a slay for me. Getting into her rags to riches eleganza look that she made. The hair is interesting. It is kind of giving a little bit like, I don't watch Bridgerton, so I don't know the queen's name, but like the queen on Bridgerton, when she's like a young party girl, that's what this is giving me, which I'm very here for. I really like the way that the top of this is draped. It's got this really sculptural quality to it that I really enjoy. I do not like this dress from behind when she's walking away. It's just not particularly flattering on her, and I do not like the skirt. But for me, this look I would say is okay. Overall, I'm gonna give her a slay on this episode. Really great package. Up next is La Grande Dame, her prince look. My first immediate thought before she said that it was Gaultier inspired was that it was very Jean-Paul Gaultier for Fifth Element. Like, that's the universe that this lives in. Realistically, her entire package cohesively gives me a Fifth Element style, very campy sci-fi film, really cunty fashion. Like, this first look is so well tailored, so well designed. I loved the little blue mustache. The way she presented it was so fun and so goofy, but she is still like so chic and so fashion forward at the same time as being an absolute fool. This is a slay. I mean, come on. And we've got another stilt look this week with this alien piece. I'm not the biggest fan of the mask piece. I don't know. There's something about it I'm not crazy about. This alien queen look is nuts. She like drools on the runway. It's wild. And it is such a departure from that first look of hers. I think it really shows how much range she has as an artist, which I give her mad props for. The silhouette of the arms and legs is really cool. That's my favorite part of this whole thing. And the makeup was kind of rough. It's a mask piece that doesn't cover the mouth, so she had to paint her mouth like a charcoal gray black and do the neck that way to match it, so she could still move her mouth and express and all of that, which like I see and get that, but it's there were some like patchy areas in the makeup. I can't believe I'm critiquing her makeup. It just felt a little rushed, a little haphazard, so not my favorite in that regard. However, I'm still gonna give it a slay because this look was just so out there comparatively to what we've seen from her so far. And then her rags to riches eleganza look, this gold lame over this little corset moment, is so good. It's so elegant, it's so classy, and it's so simple. But because it's so simple, there's not a lot of ways that you can really hide imperfection. And it's a good thing there is no imperfection to hide because it's draped incredibly well. It moves beautifully on stage. I love lame. I love the way lame catches the light, especially on a stage like this. So this is fantastic. My favorite part of this look though is the makeup. The makeup is so good, and it really unifies all three of these looks together. There is this sort of alien quality to that eye shape. Like, it has that through line of this like mid to late 90s sci-fi fashion aesthetic that I really love so much. Gotta give it a slay. Obviously her package is a slay. Up next is Scarlet Envy. Now, I know a lot of people say that she is robbed and that she deserved to be in the top. I'm sorry, did we see the same prince look? Like, if you think that this look was deserving of being in the top for whatever reason, there's the wall behind me. You see that there? Go argue with it. Like, this silhouette is so bad. It is, oh, it's so rough. I think as an idea, like Arancha's whole package, I see the vision. I see what she's trying to do. And I appreciate the thought, the notion. Holy moly, it is so unflattering. I don't care about the boy body being present. That's one thing. The armor is cool. I like the armor aspect of the breastplate situation with this look. But the pants, they're too low on the body. So it makes her torso look incredibly long, and it throws the whole thing out of whack. The feather on top of this helmet is so sad. It is barely there. It is non-existent. It is just, you know, especially when we saw a look last week like Teresa's that was this night idea with the helmet that had the huge feather silhouette situation up on the top. I don't know what the little comb situation is called on a suit of armor. My apologies for being ignorant. However, on Scarlett's, it's giving the equivalent of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. You know, the little sad one that you put one ornament on and it just falls over. It's that, but for whatever this thing is called. It's... No, it's so bad to me. I like the cape. The helmet itself, I think, looks really tacky. The shoes are nice. I can give her that. It's an A. Absolutely. This to me is one of the worst looks of the entire episode. For Scarlett's Evil Queen look, this, on the other hand, is fucking fantastic. This is gorgeous. I love this green tone on her. Her makeup here is so lovely. Just the headpiece, the silhouette with the high collar is fantastic. To me, this is one of the strongest looks in this category. The way everything is draped, the way everything's cut, it has this sort of like 1980s businesswoman sense to it with the shoulder pads. It's really well tailored. It looks really great, and this is definitely a slay for me. Her look that she made, I think it's fine. Like, it's, when you think about like the scale of it, she got a lot done in a short amount of time, but the hem to me reads a little uneven around the dress. The fabric choice I am not a big fan of. And on top of that, it's a very like classic princess ball gown silhouette, which I don't think there's anything wrong with delivering a very traditional idea of a princess look for this category. But so far, ooh, almost gave you a show there. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with doing a very traditional, classic sort of princess silhouette, this style of challenge. However, I don't see Scarlett's aesthetic in this gown. I think she made a princess costume, but I don't see like her character, her point of view as an artist through that. I think that's where my biggest gripe is. Like, she just made a princess costume that anybody could wear and have it be readable as a princess costume. It's gorgeous, it looks well made, but it just wasn't my favorite. I thought it was kind of bulky in terms of the fit, particularly through the bodice and the sleeves. So for me, this look, it's okay. I'm sure there's gonna be a firing squad coming at me now, but I don't care. For me, overall, I would say her package is okay. It's good, but she got the placement she deserved. And again, in case anybody wants to have that argument, the wall is right there, right over there. Look at it. It's got some lovely little triangles on it, just for you. Pick one. Go look at it. And have your argument with that, not with me. I get it. We all want Scarlett to win a ball. Like, we all want Scarlett to win something and be appreciated. She should have been in the top for the blue ball in All-Star 6. I am completely in agreement with the fandom about that. I legitimately don't know who you would have replaced in the top 3. Like, there was no way at all that Scarlett's package was better than anybody who was in the top this week. I think you could have made a case that she was close behind some of them, but I would say she was like a high safe. In the top, no. Up next is Keta Minaj. Now, this look, this Prince look, is precisely why Scarlett's is so bad, because this is the same sort of concept, but it is done a million times better. And I think I know the exact point of reference. You paper drag girls out there who know me from that world probably know exactly what this is from. If I'm right, which I believe this does look like a look from an artist that I competed with when I did a little paper drag competition a few years ago. They won the challenge, and then a whole bunch of shit came out about them that made them not look so good anymore, but people still support them because they're a very talented artist, a very talented designer. But like, I immediately clocked that reference. because I got second place in that challenge. And then that person got canceled. And so when the All-Stars season happened, I retroactively got the win. Even though I shouldn't have, because my designs were shit that week. This look was way more successful. The balance of soft and feminine with all the pink ruffles juxtaposed against the really stiff armor. It's just way better. It's more successful. It's cleaner. The asymmetry of it I think is what really sells it and brings it home. Even though I don't like the artist that this look is based on, if I'm correct in this, it's a great concept, great execution. That is Evil Queen look. I really enjoyed conceptually. I think of all of these like kind of person riding a creature costumes I've seen, this is one of the best ones I think I've ever seen, period. The creature itself is really cool. I like her look individually on it. The legs are proportionate and make sense, and this is a really strong look as well. I think I would give, for both this and her prince look, I would give a slay to. And then getting into the look that she made this week, my favorite part of this are the sleeves, easily. The tailoring on that is so good. It's so slinky. Just the fact that the back of it is all gold against this like basic black silhouette, it's perfect. The headpiece is not particularly my favorite. The texture of it kind of throws the look off a little bit, but I do think it is still a good look either way, even without the headpiece in consideration. Giving it a slay. She gets a slay overall for the episode. Up next is Gothy Kendall. Her Prince Charming look, this little Rococo prince moment, I thought was very cute. I really like the coat on this in particular. That's my favorite part of this entire piece. It's really great silhouette. It's a really great print, and I like it with the gold little sash. It's a very cute kind of like little darling look. I think I'm gonna give this a slay. Her Evil Queen look, now this I would wear. This is so good. My favorite part of this is the hair on this one. It's so sleek. I love that she combined Cruella de Vil with the Evil Queen, and she brought it into this like dark fashion maven direction. Just really sleek, really elegant, and really well done. So I'm gonna give her a slay on this one too. And for this princess look that she made, I actually really like this as well. It's certainly not my favorite of the pack. I don't particularly like the hair with this. And the dress, when you get into the silhouette, is really plain. It's really simple. There's really nothing crazy about it. I love the little train attachment side piece thing. Just the way that looks, that pastel rainbow shift. And then when she turns, the fact the entire front of the dress is pink and then she's got that little color gradient in the back, that's a good design choice. So even though she's not the best seamstress out there, she's not the best designer, I think this is solid. But silhouette-wise, it takes it down a lot for me, so I'm just gonna give it an okay. But I would still give Gothy a slay for the episode as a whole. And next up, we have Marina Summers. For her prince look, this look is my favorite of the category. It's the best one to me. It's so good. I love the nude illusion with the bits of blue on top to just look like the water is just bouncing off of her skin. It's so good. It moves really beautifully too. It has the right level of movement throughout the garment, just in terms of the way that the fabric is done. Just like, I love the asymmetry of the collar. I love the legs. I love the sheer cape situation, the way she walks with it, the slick little kind of Elvis-y hairstyle. It's really, really good. My one critique for this look is that I wish she hadn't done this like really feminine glam face. I wish she would have gone a little more butch. And I think even for her, this is sort of her butching up her makeup. The shapes are definitely smaller. It's not as draggy, but I think had she gone just a smidge even smaller or gone full king, I would have loved it even more. But still, this is immaculate, giving it a slay. Her Evil Queen look, I'm not really sure what the reference is. I'm not familiar with it. I tried looking up a reference earlier and I couldn't find specifically what she was talking about that would have made it make sense to me. It was giving very Shape of Water, which cool, but I don't really think it fit Evil Queen in terms of readability. Like it didn't have that sense of like regalness to it. It was definitely like evil creature. But I think you could say the same thing about La Grande Dame looking back. Like she didn't really have that regal queen quality, but because we over here are familiar with the xenomorph, the alien queen idea from the Alien franchise, it's a little more of a understandable jump. Whereas most people here in the West aren't really familiar with Filipino culture. So it's just a cultural blind spot for a lot of people, myself included. So to me, when I look at this, I don't see Evil Queen in the same way I do when I see something like Le Grand Dames. But I only see an Evil Queen with that because I'm familiar with the concept, if that makes sense. I think it's a good look though. I think it's well made and it's a fun idea. I'm gonna give it an okay though. There were just some things that I wasn't crazy about with it. Her look that she made, however, oh, I can't believe that this is the first thing she's ever sewn. This is so ridiculously good. The cut, like this mermaid skirt, this tiered structure, that's not easy to make, let alone easy to make successfully like this. It moves incredibly beautifully. It just works really well. And she used like a stretch velvet, which is not a forgiving fabric either if you fuck it up. And I mean, she fucked it up, but like not in that way, you know what I mean? Like she just did really, really well. I love the way this treatment is done along the top. Just the fabric choices are all really good. The hairstyle is perfect. This is fantastic. Incredible. One of my favorite looks this week. So obviously I'm giving her a slay on that too. And even though I didn't really like her Evil Queen look, she's still getting a slay for the episode, babe. Like, I have to. There's no other choice. And finally, we have Theresa May. Now, I do really like that she has a purple color story through everything. It has a really cohesive look between all three of her pieces. I love in a ball challenge when there's like an interconnectedness to all of the looks. I think it makes it more interesting and successful as a package. Now, her prince look, I liked the approach she went with this. I love the mustache. I liked the matador approach. I liked the coat. The jacket was cool. The pants weren't my favorite. I think they still work with the look. I think the biggest problem is she has so much going on up here with it that it, again, kind of similar to some other people we've talked about on this program, it's truncated her. It's made her look like she has no neck. Like there's parts to this that I really like, but I just don't think that the details all quite came together in the right way to make it successful. For me, this is an A. For her Evil Queen look, I love that she brought back the owl from their design challenge back on season 3. That's very fun. Now, I love the silhouette of this. I love the hair. The scepter with the smoke ball was really cool. My favorite part of this presentation though was all the cuts to RuPaul with all the smoke in her face. It was really funny. The cape on this is cool. I loved the structure of it, was really neat. The silhouette's gorgeous. I love this cape. It's really gorgeous on stage. Really, really effective. I think this was a strong look. I'm gonna give this a slay. And now for her rags to riches eleganza. I did not enjoy this. The fabric choices were a little strange. Not what I would necessarily pick. I really enjoy this look from the neck up. The jewelry is gorgeous, the hair is perfect, the makeup is sitting, but for me, it's ultimately what this comes down to is the garment itself. I like the puffy princess sleeve, it's very cute. The silhouette of it as a whole is not flattering. The waistline is cut in a strange spot for her. It really, at the end of the day, to me is giving matron. Like it is not giving princess, it is giving like the princess's middle-aged advisor. I don't think that's what they're supposed to be going for. So for me, this was a miss. I think she could have done something really cool with this fabric as like a lining or as an accent color, but making it the main focal point was a miss. I'm gonna say this is an A. And overall, I would give her package an A as well. Overall, I think this might actually be the most critical I've ever been in any episode that we've done of this so far, because there were a lot of looks that I really, really liked this week, but there were a ton of them I didn't enjoy at all. Whew, hopefully y'all don't eat me up in the comments too terribly now. But now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, it's time to pick our slay of the day, my favorite look of the episode that will go into a post-crowning ranking video to determine my slay of the season. And that look will get a full illustration once that video has come out. That will all happen after we have crowned a new winner. This is a tricky situation for me because there were looks that I liked a ton. I think what it's ultimately going to come down to is the entire package. And so for the first time in Very Slay history, I am not giving Slay of the Day to one look. I am instead giving Slay of the Day to the complete run that we got from Le Grand Dame this week. That entire ball package cohesively made the most sense to me. I would be remiss to not treat the package as a collective when they all made sense within that same sort of universe. All of Le Grand Dame's package for this episode will be treated as a collective unit in that post-crowning video. So when we get to the Slay of the Season video in a couple of months, if this ends up being my Slay of the Season, I will make a piece that includes all three of them together. But that will only happen if it doesn't get topped. This season is still very early. That could happen. But as it stands, that's what it's looking like it might end up being. So get excited / stay tuned. Or if you didn't like her package, hope for something to beat it. That's going to be it for me for today. My throat is very dry after all of this talking. I'm particularly in need of a snack, and I need to get out of drag because I have to be up in about 6 hours to get in drag again. So we will see you all in the next one. As always, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that little notification bell so you don't miss any of the potential Very Slay action coming your way. You be kind, and you be queer, and you make sure that your day is very slay.